Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Speaking with Tony P. I'm super excited to be here today. I just wanted to take a couple minutes to share a couple things that were on my mind. I want to first start off by thanking my family, my friends, and for all of you that have supported me and this channel. So, two things I want to cover today are some life lessons. And if you don't already know, one of the focuses of my channel is to go over life lessons that have made an impact on me. And then after I go through those two life lessons, I just want to share a couple things that have happened to me recently that I think that people can relate to. So first life lesson that I want to talk about is having the attitude of gratitude. So let me kind of share a story of what kind of happened to me that really changed my life, but also I'm super grateful for. As you know, in life you're going to go through ups and downs, and I truly believe that that shapes you to be the person that you're meant to be. And you have to go through certain things to be tested, to really see what you can handle. And as you know, we can always handle more than we think we can. So if you don't already know this, and mom, if you're watching, you may have figured it out, but if you don't know, I'm going to kind of share something with you that you may not be happy about. But, growing up through high school and early part of college, I was actually in a gang. And being in that gang, we did a lot of bad things. But one of the bad things that happened to me is the fact that I was in the process of dropping out of high school. I was not in the education at the time. None of my friends were really excited about continuing in school. A lot of them dropped out. A lot of them were in the process of dropping out. And I went to this extension for bad kids. It was called East Campus out in Berkeley. And some of you know what I'm talking about. And, I had this aha moment, and I'm super grateful that this moment came because, when I was thinking about dropping out of school and just giving up because I was like, what's the point? I'm hanging out with my friends. This is what I'm going to do. I thought about my mom, and I just remembered her working so hard as a single parent to raise us as her children and then also send money home back to Laos and to give back wherever she could. And, there were times when my older brother and I would actually take the bus because we were on government assistance and we didn't have a car. We would go drop her off at work and then, pick her up later on the bus. And those moments really kind of stuck with me. And I remember when I was thinking about dropping out of high school, I said, you know what? I can't do this to my mom. I can do better. So for whatever reason, maybe all the things that I watched her go through, it made me consider dropping out, but not dropping out. And I decided not to drop out, thankfully. And I continued. I graduated from high school. I was the first to finish college in my family. And that doesn't really mean a whole lot to some people because, to be honest, graduating from college doesn't mean you're smarter than anyone. It doesn't mean you're better. But the one thing that really kind of stuck with me was that I had the discipline to start something, finish it, and, be an example to my younger brother, right? So, I commend anyone who is doing something that they believe in, commits to it, and finishes it. Because it's not easy, right? So I'm grateful for my mom being a role model, an example. Thank you, Mom, for inspiring me. I definitely wouldn't be the person that I am today without you. So the second life lesson, it is about having the understanding that your attitude determines your altitude in life. Now, you may have heard that, but I kind of want to add to that from my own personal experience. I believe that your attitude determines your altitude in life, provided that you take consistent action to grow and do better, right? Because we all know people that have a great attitude and they're fun to be around, they're very optimistic, and maybe they're very supportive and encouraging for you to do what you want to do and always kind of have your back. But for whatever reason, they never really get very far in life. And I believe it's because they don't take action, number one, to get to where they want to go, and then they're not consistent, right? They don't follow through, all that good stuff. So I believe that, you do have to have a great attitude, but it doesn't necessarily determine your altitude in life unless you take action consistently. So a couple stories that happened to me, I want to share with you. Recently, I had a chance to volunteer with an organization thanks to my amazing cousin, Lindsay Liam Sithasak. She connected me to an organization called Muwindi Foundation in San Jose, California. It's a nonprofit that gives back to the homeless, and they are not just like providing things here and there. They're actually in the trenches giving things back to the homeless and interacting with them. So my first impression was that they're very organized, even though they told me that it was a mess that day, but they were also very, very team oriented. Everyone kind of knew what to do. They, different people, jumped in when they needed to. I kind of jumped in, but the leadership was very helpful. So it allowed me to, do my part, right? So that day, it was an early morning. I got there at 8:30. I was preparing sandwiches and putting them in bags, and I wore gloves, and people had to wear like a hairnet. I don't have much hair, so I wasn't required. But yeah, so we did that. Then we went out to one of the encampments out in San Jose. It was right under this bridge, and actually set up tables, and we had backpacks for everyone, with things for men, things for women. We had a table of clothes, different sizes for men and women. And then there was a restaurant that donated this vegetable soup, some healthy food that was given out to the homeless people. And it was actually really good. I brought some home. So that was very nice of them to do that. But in addition to kind of being out there and handing out goodies at the encampment spot, I actually went on a ride along with one of the co-founders to put things in a wagon, all the lunches and everything, and then went out along the railroad tracks where all these people were, kind of posted and camping out, and we kind of brought everything to them. And some of those people were like, wow, how did you guys find us? We're like way back here. But, the founders, they've done this before. They don't just kind of try to help out people in a certain area. Like, they go to the people, and I got to see hands-on how that was such impactful for these people. They were super thankful, especially because it's getting cold, it's wintertime, all that good stuff. And then recently, I went to the VA hospital in San Francisco where the veterans are, and I walked into the volunteer service department. There was a kind gentleman that sat down with me and, gave me an opportunity to tell him that I was really interested in volunteering with the VA. And